Two U.S. aircraft carriers, thousands of miles from home, operating in one of the world's most volatile maritime zones. Is the U.S. preparing for something bigger than anyone's talking about? Right now, the U.S. Navy is executing a major strategic maneuver in the South China Sea. The USS Nimitz is conducting advanced flight operations in contested waters, while the USS Carl Vinson is also in the region. This isn't just a training mission. It's part of a calculated show of force in the Indo Pacific, and it's turning heads in Beijing, Tokyo, Manila, and Washington. So, what's really going on here? And why does it matter so much right now? Let's start with why the South China Sea matters. This 1.3 million square mile region is more than just water. It's a geopolitical powder keg. Nearly 1/3 of global maritime trade passes through it. It's rich in oil, gas, and fishing resources. But here's the kicker. China claims almost all of it, defying international law. Now, the US doesn't take a position on who owns what, but it does stand firm on one thing: freedom of navigation. When the Nimitz sails here, it's not just patrolling, it's making a statement. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for what's coming next. The USS Nimitz is no ordinary ship. It's a nuclear-powered floating fortress carrying over 60 aircraft and more than 5,000 personnel. Its current deployment includes nighttime and daytime flight ops, strike simulations, and anti-submarine warfare drills. And what's unusual? It's not alone. The USS Carl Vinson is nearby. Two carriers operating in the same contested waters? That doesn't happen often, and it signals something bigger. This kind of power projection hasn't been seen here at this level since 2020, and it's happening while China is stepping up patrols, flying fighter jets, and expanding artificial islands. To understand the real tension here, you have to look at China's playbook. Over the past decade, China has built militarized islands, installed radar systems, deployed surface-to-air missiles, and challenged foreign navies, including the US, operating in what's technically international waters. Every move by the US Navy is closely tracked by the PLA Navy and Coast Guard vessels. So when two US carriers roll up to the neighborhood, China watches, and they worry. This isn't just about ships and planes. It's about dominance, deterrence, and the balance of power in the Indo Pacific. Here's the thing. It's not just China and the US in this drama. Countries like Vietnam, the Philippines, Japan, and Australia are watching very closely. Some have their own disputes with China. Others are concerned about being caught between two giants. In fact, this dual carrier presence is also about reassurance, telling allies, we've got your back. The US wants to show it can deploy, maneuver, and operate anywhere, anytime, even in Beijing's backyard. This could just be a strong message, or the opening moves of a longer strategy. With tensions over Taiwan, increasing US-China rivalry, and shifting alliances in the Indo-Pacific, these operations aren't just routine, they're a test. Will China back off or ramp up? Will allies join the US in future exercises? And what happens if there's an incident, a miscalculation, a collision, or worse? In these waters, every move matters, and every flight launched off the deck of the Nimitz sends a message 10,000 miles across the world. But here's the real question. Is it just the Nimitz and the Carl Vinson out there? Or is something bigger unfolding beneath the radar? Because aircraft carriers never operate alone. Each one sails with an entire strike group, and those strike groups are made up of some of the most advanced warships in the world. We're talking guided missile cruisers like the USS Bunker Hill, destroyers such as the USS Decatur, USS Wayne E. Meyer, and USS Chung Hoon, all equipped with Aegis combat systems, Tomahawk missiles, and advanced anti-submarine capabilities. And then, there's the silent presence beneath the waves, attack submarines, whose movements are rarely disclosed, but you can bet at least one is lurking nearby. Beyond that, there are constant air patrols, refueling tankers, surveillance aircraft like the P-8 Poseidon, and logistical ships keeping the whole fleet supplied, 24/7. And while the US Navy rarely reveals the full scope of what's deployed in real time, what we do know suggests this is not a symbolic visit. It's part of a well-coordinated, high-readiness naval presence, one designed to be flexible, scalable, and ready for any contingency in the Indo Pacific. So the real story isn't just 2 carriers, it's the full picture. An entire network of ships, submarines, and aircraft, all working together in one of the most volatile regions in the world. This isn't just a Navy story. It's about global balance, rising tensions, and how superpowers signal strength without firing a shot. As the USS Nimitz and Carl Vinson cruise through the South China Sea, the world watches and waits. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for what's coming next. Let's not forget the air refueling operations that allow fighter jets to remain in the air for extended missions. KC-135s or FA-18 buddy tankers enable continuous air coverage, keeping the skies above the fleet secure at all times. And there's more. The U.S. Indo Pacific Command is known for moving assets across the region quietly. At any given time, other U.S. Navy destroyers, submarines, and support vessels are transiting nearby choke points, from the Philippine Sea to the Strait of Malacca. You might also see Allied ships operating under separate flags, but integrated into the larger strategic plan. An Australian destroyer, a Japanese helicopter carrier, or a British supply ship might all be sailing nearby, independently, yet in perfect sync when needed. It's not just a fleet, it's a message. A multi-layered multinational shield that says, the Indo-Pacific will not be dominated without resistance. And while headlines focus on the 2 carriers, the reality is much bigger, much more complex, and much more prepared for escalation than most realize. If you want to stay updated on military strategy, power moves, and real-world geopolitics, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Is this the beginning of a bigger US pivot, or just business as usual?